I guess it's a good time to start another week. We still have snow on the ground, amazingly. And start another week because we have a couple of bucks out there. We haven't really seen many bucks at all since the snowstorm. I guess those are, I don't know, I saw some while I was out riding around. and as the snow was melting, but we have a big cold front came through and had 2 or 3 more days down really, really cold. Fortunately, I was gone during those days. But we have days where the highs were what the low was. Low's been down in the 20s. We had highs in the low 20s for 3 days there, and the snow just keeps on hanging on. We're a little bit like up north. That's a beautiful buck right there. That's just about a perfect 8-point, a big buck. The other buck out there, and that's not him, obviously. The other buck out there is a spike, a little bitty spike. So you see, we've talked about spikes can become big ones. And that's a small spike. The other deer there, I think, is a doe. I'm not sure. Now we know that Red Tag's boy from last year had his first antlers this year. That's not him. We know that he lost his antlers. I lost one of them. I'm sure he lost the other one while I've been gone. But that is a beauty right there. And we back out and take a look. They're eating that South Fresh deer food. Texas Hunter feeder throwing it out there, and it's staying. You can almost see it on the ground. I guess you can, can't you? Actually see the feed laying on the ground. That's how hard that ground is. It's the snow is almost packed. You can see the pellets laying on the ground that they're picking up. That's a beautiful little deer. They're picking it up off the top. It's not seeking down in the snow because he's just vacuuming it up there. And that big boy is doing the exact same thing there. So if you look on the ground, you can see it, and that's pretty unusual. It's a new iPhone. It is magical big zoom, 24 times it says. I know that's not 24 power zoom, but it's way more than the old one. So I'm just tickled and thrilled with my new iPhone 17. Broke my bank account just about. I guess that may be a 9 or 10 point. Got 4 on one side. He might have 5 on the other. I think it's 4 and 5, so I think it's a 9 point. Big, beautiful, fat thing. Sucking that South Fresh up. Hopefully we'll have, with this cold weather, hopefully we'll have a few more bucks come around. But also, we have warm weather forecast for February. So once we get to February 15, you remember that's a crossover in the south. Fewer cold fronts, and they don't last nearly as long. Spring is just over the horizon. Yeah, go ahead and hide your antlers. I don't care. Not good camera work. It sure is a pretty deer. The snow is going away, and we look out there, we see the bright sunshine on the lake, but we have another front coming in. So whatever snow is left after tonight may be here for 3 or 4 more days. Look over on the mountain. There's not much snow on the mountain. Look out on the lake. Beautiful. Bunch of geese swimming around there. I've seen them all day long. They come swimming by. They fly up to one end, swim up to the other end. Many of them have been right out here in front today. Ducks and geese together, all ganged up. The other lake is absolutely covered with ducks and geese. How do they know that duck season is over? They seem to know, don't they? Must have seen it in the papers. But the snow is melting, just about gone off of the front deck. You can see major damage to our deck down there. Probably gonna have to take out a small loan or a large loan and put a new floating pier in here. It doesn't look like that one's gonna make it much longer. We built that back in 2015 when we lost the lake, so it's lasted a while. 11 years, we got our money's worth out of it, I think. But with treated wood, high dollar treated wood, I sure expected it to last a lot longer than that. But I don't know if it's repairable or not. Sure don't want to fall through in the wintertime like this. It's supposed to get warmer next week. And if it is, I'm going to be out on that pier. Throwing a big old crankbait trying to catch a bass. Yes, I am. There's some geese swimming. Or flying. Of course they're swimming. There's some flying. They fly around to one end and it seems like they just fly around, swim around all day long. That's a pretty neat deal, though. I like it. I love to see those big Canada geese. That's probably just one or two families right there. Maybe just one family, what that is. Will the snow go away today? Well, if it doesn't, it's probably going to be here for a couple of more days. A lot of the snow went away yesterday. A little spike buck and that really nice one out there this morning. Also a little nubbin head. Saw a couple, 2 or 3 more right there earlier, does and fawns. But so all those 3 of those are bucks right there. The small one is probably red tag's baby. It's actually got some hard horns. They're not just nubbins, they're hard horns. They're just little nubbin horns. But they are antlers. Nice 8-point there, or 9-point. He's been coming around. Oh, there's the other deer. Way on out there, maybe. No, I don't see any. I thought I saw some way on out there. My imagination. He's got little nubbin heads there. You can see the little hard horns as it gets turned just right there. You can see them. Nice guy right there. Brow tines are pretty small. Might be broken off. Gotta look like they're broken off. Probably still sparring a little bit. But he's a pretty boy. And the little spike. Heading for some alfalfa. Heading for the alfalfa field on Jimmy's ranch. It'd be nice to have one, just don't have enough water. You have to irrigate them around here. And just don't quite get enough to raise alfalfa without irrigating. All fluffed up this morning. Cold out there. But when you look out in the distance, it looks pretty good. Still on the road quite a bit. That's pretty up out through there. I don't know if it's all going away today or not. If it doesn't, it's going to be here a couple more days. Then it'll be gone because it's going to be in the 50s all next week with like 3 or 4 days in the 60s. Yes. That's a pretty picture. Not going to last very long. He's going to be out of sight. Going around to see if he can find something to eat in front. Maybe get a little drink. Pretty boy. Yes, he is. Very pretty. Found something to eat, Jimmy. Glad that white stuff is gone off of here. Yes, I am. South wind blowing, gonna bring those temperatures up rapidly this morning. Those are the 2 guys that were out front. I suppose that other one will come around soon. No red sky this morning, perfectly clear out there. Just a winter morning. Beautiful lake. Be pretty chilly out there fishing today. Got to wrap up pretty good. It's going to be in the 40s before the day's over. That's not bad at all. But I got lots of work to do. I might get to walk to the dock late this evening. Throw a crankbait around, see if I can catch a bass. There is a bunch of deer out there right now. 3 or 4 different bucks. And they're all fighting over the food. And I see one buck leaving a long way out there. He got in a little fight with not the doe right there. One buck got in a fight with another buck. There's red tags. No, it's not red tags, little boy. Red tags, little boy's lost a horn already, right? And there's a lot of deer out there. Nice big buck there. That's the buck that was kind of took control of everything. He's got both antlers for sure. And he is a nice big one. Kind of looks a little bit like Fatboy. That guy's limping there. That's a nice 8-point. He is limping. That big buck there is pretty solid and pretty big. There was another buck out there as well. That was actually larger antlers, but not as big body-wise. And he got run off. Plus, one or two of those does got really aggressive as well. That's red tag leaving. We about got the food cleaned up. Oh, yeah. It's emptying out. That one big buck right there. Kind of getting the last of everything that's there. The other big buck, actually larger antlers than that one, but not as much body weight. And he just basically run the others off. That other big one. There was 3 out there at once. I don't know where he went, actually. There's deer leaving out there, 3 or 4 or 5 of them leaving. He's not in that bunch. That's 5 deer leaving right there. There was actually 8 or 10 or 12 out there. And that big one's pretty wild. He's gonna moves with Apache driving up. Yeah, he got a little nervous, Apache driving up, and then decided, I'm going to come back and clean that food up. Isn't he a beauty? He is definitely a beauty. Oh, wow, look at that. That's impressive, boys and girls. Maybe that other buck wasn't larger than him. Maybe he didn't have quite as big of horns. I don't know. That's pretty nice when you look at it. And he's only an 8-point. God, he's a beauty. Wow. Oh, man, that's really something right there. Very, very special. He's tuned into that South Fresh deer food, isn't he? Yes, he is. I love it. My goodness, it's it's over a week after the snowstorm, and you can see we still have a little snow not left, not much. It's all going to be gone probably in a day or two because it's supposed to be in the high 40s today, and then in the 50s and 60s and 70s. 70s by the weekend. I imagine Jimmy's going to find somewhere to go fishing. Right now I'm swamped, absolutely covered up. But lots and lots and lots and lots going on. Hours and hours and hours of paperwork to do as we get into a new television show year. Pat's the same way in Tulsa at the production company. Into a new television year is always a really, really busy time, particularly these first 6 months. And obviously we'll be trying to shoot shows for the 2027, which will be year number 50. That's right. 2027 will be 50 years on national television. I think that puts us starting back in 1977, before most of y'all were born, thankfully. But have a few deer out there this morning, not a lot. Saw 1 or 2 little bucks in the front yard, didn't shoot any video of them. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Yes, it is. And I'm fortunate to be here. Chris and I got back late last night. We went to Kent, Ohio, Vic Sports Center. Worked there Saturday. Several people show up. Had a great time. Fantastic time, as a matter of fact. Many, many, many friends. One gentleman, really, really nice guy, Rick Castle, actually gave me his watch. Beautiful Citizen watch, Ecotech watch, high-dollar watch. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Gold and silver. The watch is gold and silver. He told me that in the biblical days, a lot of people paid other people with gold and silver, and that's what he did. And I tried really, really hard not to take it, but he just insisted. Such a nice gentleman, military man, still in the National Guard even after he served his time in the military. Great warrior for America, and just a good man. Just a good man, what can I say? And so I'm wearing that watch. I love that watch. It's beautiful. I actually have it on today. It's keeping perfect time, by the way, Rick. Of course, you already knew that. I actually took it off his wrist. It's amazing how good people really are. Absolutely amazing how good people really are. God blesses people like Rick. God blesses all of us. God blesses all of us. The amazing thing is he lets a lot of the good things happen to non-believers as well. He lets good things happen to people that shake their fist in the face of God and curse him. And yet he never lets a sin go unpunished. Never lets a single sin go unpunished. Deer are beautiful out there. They're having a little fight over the food, but absolutely gorgeous. I guess they ate it all up. I better get back to work. There is a big boy out there, and I'm believing that big boy is Fatboy. I believe that is Fatboy. Big, beautiful 8-point. That's the biggest he's ever got. He's been an 8-point for 3 or 4 years. He's not a young deer at all anymore. He's an old boy, but a big one. He's got a beautiful 8-point perfect rack. He's had a beautiful 8-point perfect rack for a long, long time. And he's just absolutely spectacular. There was a spike out there with him this morning. That was the only 2 bucks I've seen out there. Several does running around. A little spike was running around with him. That spike is evidently, he run him off and wanted to suck up all that South Fresh deer food, which is he's doing quickly. He's not wasting much time. He's eaten a lot of South Fresh there over the years, Fatboy has. And I believe that's him. He's a little bit shorter than the other deals, just a little bit shorter legs, but a beautiful big rack and a beautiful deer. And he is a dandy, to say the least. And a good way to start another beautiful morning with Fatboy. Are we talking about that deer? Or are we talking about Jimmy? Well, the prayer circle is a busy place. Looks like there's about, I think there's a family of 4 out there. That's probably, look at that deer just laid down. He just laid down right there. That's probably Red Tag and her family. And the little buck had his first horns this year. Had lost one of them the other day. He's probably lost both of them. Might be him right there, as a matter of fact, kind of looks like. I think that's Red Tag standing behind that tree. You can see her big butt sticking out there. But, yeah, that's probably the good-sized deer right there. Probably. And it's a little buck, or a little baby buck from this year. And probably her baby doe from this year. Or maybe I think she just had a baby buck this year, and that little doe and buck from last year. That's right, her family, her whole family. I'm thinking that's probably Red Tag. She's not showing. There she is. There's the Red Tag sign. Yep. Right again, Jimmy. Need to write that down because you're not right very often. Uh-oh. Looks like there's somebody coming. They came to attention. Yes, they did. That one laying down will be getting up pretty soon, I imagine. Would you take a look at that? Would you take a look at that? I'm down here fishing, and look up there in the yard. I mean, it's plumb full of deer. They're everywhere. That's a good bunch of deer right there. I mean, they just keep going. They're all across there. Wind's blowing, probably making the audio really, really bad. But I don't know how many deer are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Couple run off to the right, 7. I don't know if the rest of them run off to the others. There's 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 there. Maybe just 7, I don't know. They're moving around up there quite a little bit. Trying to block the wind off here as much as I can. I can zoom in, but I can't hold it steady, guys and girls. But that's pretty nice. By the way, I hadn't had a bite. Throwing my big crankbait around here. This makes the 3rd straight time that I've been here. 2 evenings in a row. The other one was about a week ago. And have not had a bite. Not a single bite. The deer are biting. Maybe I should put on some clover or something as bait. Or rye. There's a couple up there. There's one behind the pole indigos. That's another one that I missed counting. There's a pretty good little bunch of deer up there. Gorgeous, beautiful. Quite a bunch of them. I mean, quite a bunch of them. I looked up there and there's deer everywhere. So I had to share. Deer everywhere, Jimmy will share. Because I love you.